Shall we start? How do we say yes? Yes. So one more time. Shall we start? Very nice. So welcome you all to Basics of Stock Market 2.0. So just in case if there is any confusion, like the earlier one was season 1 and this is season 2. You know what is it? Typically when I'm talking about season 1 and season 2, it's like a continuation of the previous session, right? Is there any continuation? No. This is version 2.0. So whenever we download any app, what happens in an app, we have certain basics and then we have an upgrade in that. So this is the upgraded version of Basics of Stock Market. Because I believe that I as a person in 2019 versus I as a person in 2022 also there's a big difference. The level of knowledge which I can say I believe has increased quite a bit in the last 3 years. The level of exposure that I got in the last 3 years is quite a bit different. So I can say in 2019, whatever recording I did, I thought it's high time now that I upgrade my Basics of Stock Market course. And that is the reason why we thought that we should re-record this, but in a classroom environment again. Well, shooting YouTube videos is fun, no doubt about that. But you know, I hate one thing about YouTube videos. What thing with that? No students, no interaction. And so are you getting the hidden meaning? That I expect interaction. Okay. So otherwise everyone is like first like this, then like this, and gone. Okay. So whether your answers are correct or wrong doesn't make any difference. You're not on camera. So बेइज्जती होगी तो इतने लोगों के सामने होंगे. So bindas give answers. Don't even think twice before answering. We'll just have a proper classroom environment where you can raise your hand and answer. Let you get that feeling of going back to college, right? Okay, but don't behave like college students. Okay? Right. So shall we start with the shairi? That's what I used to do when I used to teach students, huh? Yes. मिलते ही नजरे दिल मिलाया नहीं जाता. I was waiting for that. मिलते ही नजरे दिल मिलाया नहीं जाता. आगाज को अंजाम बनाया नहीं जाता. हाँ. What is आगाज? Only one person answered. That is why he answered. But who said Wawa? Everyone. Is that what exactly happens in stock market? Yes. So there's one person who has either burnt his hands or has had a great success in stock market. But because that one person is confidently telling certain stories, we all are like, oh, wow. So don't believe only one person, don't believe in only one person's experiences. We all have to experience it. Unless and until we either burn our hands in it or we get profited from it. It's not going to be a proper experience as such, right? How many of you till date have at least heard this, that stock market is a gamble? Everyone. Now, who is that person who is telling that stock market is a gamble? Achha, who is not investing? Okay, anyone else? Who has lost a lot of money? Correct? Achha, when we are in school or in college, do we follow a person who has failed or who has passed? Who has passed, right? So unfortunately, this is the only place, stock market is the only place where we make conclusions based on the experiences of a failure. Okay? So day one, first session, I believe that whatever misconceptions or whatever thoughts you have about stock market, we'll discuss that one by one. And we'll try and establish whether these thoughts are correct or whether these thoughts are wrong. Okay? So first point I asked is whether you believe that stock market is a gamble or not. Right? So how many of you believe that no, stock market is not a gamble? Few hands still I can see in the air. Very good. Not a gamble, right? But why do you feel it's not a gamble? If you can make informed decisions, very good. Ideally in gambling, it's 100% luck, right? People can say that unless it is Shukuni Mama, who knows how to throw the dice, right? But otherwise, it's 100% luck. In stock market, there is maybe 1 to 3% of luck. Like whatever scenario we are in right now. Is something terrific happening in stock market right now? Yes. Market is swinging more than a normal swing. 600 points up on Nifty, 800 points down on Nifty, whatever. I mean, it's a very rare scenario that we see such huge swings in back-to-back 2 days. 800 points down, 500, 600 points up. Why is this happening? Huh? Instability because of fear, because of war. There are multiple reasons, right? But one of the reasons right now is Russia-Ukraine war. Okay. Now, if war is good for stock market or bad for stock market? Good, ma'am. Hey, ma'am is good. Market is also good. Also. Ma'am is good. Market is also good. Instead of Russia-Ukraine, if I say it was India-Pakistan, the sentiment changes automatically. Okay. If there is a war between India and Pakistan and something like Uri, there was an attack from our side, surgical strike, we came back safely, we taught them a lesson and came back. Good for the market, bad for the market. Okay, now understand. So what we are talking about, so we have not yet answered this question of gambling. We are yet to complete the loop. But before we go to that, we have gone into another scenario. External factors. External factors, and what example am I giving right now? War scenario. Is this good or bad? Your thought process, it is good. Good for the market, right? India went to Pakistan, surgical strike, we won, victorious. Everyone is happy, market is up by 600 points. That is the thought process, correct? So first we're writing all the thought processes. And then we'll finally decide whether it is good or bad. So don't write that this is good. This is a question mark, a good question mark. Gamble also question mark. This is not conclusion. Correct? First we'll discuss these two, then we will move on to next set of questions. So gambling, we said, is it a gamble? No. Why? Because is it based on 100% luck? Not based on 100% luck, but maybe 2-3% times it might be based on luck. And for that I have to explain the second scenario. Okay. Now let us understand. Assume so India Pakistan answer you will give me afterwards, because in market there are 2 points. One is having 100% idea about what is theoretical knowledge and applying it practically. Okay. Scenario number 2, you know all the basics absolutely right, but unfortunately emotions come in between. Especially who do day trading, whoever tried day trading, you know the setup. Okay, 200 dema, 50 dema, this, that, you have all fancy setups on screen, and then some emotions playing, and you take a wrong trade. Okay, so I'm not going to first give you example of India Pakistan. First we'll take example of Russia Ukraine war. Okay. Now if everyone knows that the other day it was pretty bad, there was a lot of bombing on Ukraine. If this continues, will it be good for the economy or will it be bad for the economy? Bad for the economy, right? But for Ukraine's economy, for Russia's economy, whatever. Because if there's a counter also, so we're believing they attack, there's a counter attack, whatever. So it's going to be bad for their economies, correct? हमारा क्या संबंध? It will affect our economy. How? If you can answer, yes, please. Oil prices, okay? Gas, oil prices, absolutely. So if you know about this, almost, okay, this is not an exact figure, but 70 to 80% crude imports for our country happen from Russia. Whatever, 60, 70, 80. Figures पे ध्यान मत दो, emotion पे ध्यान दो. Okay, 60, 70, 80, whatever percent is imported from Russia. More than 50, no? Correct? Now you can believe that something goes wrong in Russia. Will we be able to import crude very easily? No, there'll be problems, right? So will the prices of crude increase? Yes or no? Will the prices of crude increase? Yes. If the prices of crude increase, we will have to shell out more money or we'll have to shell out less money. As a country, we'll have to shell out more money. Good for our economy or bad for our economy? Bad for our economy. Stock markets will be happy? Yes, a shake will roll. Huh? Yes or no? They'll be happy? No way. Because for our economy, that is an event which is not good. And that is the exact reason why when there was a bombing on Ukraine the other day, our markets fell by almost 800 points on Nifty. Okay, even if you don't know what is Nifty, that is okay. We'll learn about all these things. Markets fell down. In simple words, many of them might have made losses on the same day. And all these memers, they wake up. So classic ultimate day for them, right? And one of the best memes that I got on WhatsApp the other day was Sare Zameen Par. Have you understood what is the scenario of war and how it impacts the stock market? Yes or no? Yes. Now keep your emotions aside and think logically. But we can invest. Buy on the dip is different. See, again, don't confuse two scenarios. I'm just saying, will it impact the market positively or negatively? We are not saying what opportunities are available to us. That is a different story. First, we are just trying to understand what external factors and how they impact the market. That is what we are discussing right now, correct? Now, again, zero emotions, and you have to tell me, India-Pakistan war, surgical strike, we are victorious, we come back. Good or bad? Again, we are victorious for feeling jani raha hai, baby. That patriotism is overpowering your logical thought process. Keep your patriotism aside for 2 minutes. Okay, now think logically. If we had gone and had we come back, successfully agreed we did that. But would there have been a chance that Pakistan could have struck back? Possible. So will market enjoy this? No. Now what happens? Number one, there might be some destruction in the economy. Number one. Number two, what happens? Please understand on a macro basis. On a macro basis, now you all are the decision makers in the government. Okay. Now what happens is that you know, yes, there is a war situation, India versus Pakistan, and you have allocated 2,000 crore rupees, assume, for some roads and railways and bridges construction, for infrastructure in short. How much you have allocated? 2,000 crores. Okay. And all of a sudden you understand that, oh my God, war situation. Will you still keep it for infrastructure development, or would you want to shift those funds for defense? Shift to defense. Can that slow down our economic overall infrastructure growth and other growth? Yes. So market enjoys a war situation or doesn't enjoy a war situation? Doesn't enjoy a war situation. Does it matter who is victorious? Even if we win, it is not going to be a good moment for the market. What is much more bad is the uncertainty. That is what market hates. Uncertainty. What we are facing right now. Can anyone tell me confidently who can win Russia or Ukraine? No one can tell confidently. Can anyone tell confidently that these two will fight and it will stop? No one can tell confidently. Can you tell confidently that it might, God forbid, but it might lead to 3 or 4 more countries joining Russia, 3 or 4 more countries joining Ukraine? No one knows about this. And that is the reason why we are seeing huge swings in the market. Okay, right now we are talking about all these points just based on logic or based on data. Right now we are talking only based on logic. Would you want more and more data points on this as well? If you are loving this external factors impact on stock market, we can have special small session about, we'll pull out the data also, we have pulled out that. We'll have a separate discussion on this? Yes? Okay, but not today, today is the first lecture. Okay, आत्ताशी पंक्ती बसलाय तुम्ही, अंडे जर मागताय. Okay, चलो बेटा. Right, so थोड़ा 1 or 2 liners in Marathi you can ignore. That's okay. So external factors understood? First example, correct? Now tell me, now we'll talk about this gamble in connection with war. Okay, like he said now. I believe that there'll be bombing from Russia, there'll be bombing from Ukraine. Both will understand that this is not going to help anyone. Let's stop it. In next 3 days it stops. Assume. Okay? When markets crashed by whatever 800,000 points, he got that inner feeling. Meditate. That सुना होने वाला ऊपर. And then markets are going to rise by 2,000 points. He got that feeling. पैसा ही पैसा. वो तो अभी खुश हो गया. कुछ नहीं बोला फिर भी. So he has invested a lot of money when markets had crashed by 1,000 points. Now he has invested huge money. And assume that his thought process is inner feeling अंदर की आवाज जो बोलते. That turned out to be true. And assume in next 3 days everything is sorted. War over. Will markets react positively or negatively? War is over. Uncertainty is there or no? No, no uncertainty now. Will markets react positively? Yes. Are you getting me? Yes. Will this guy profit? He's laughing again. He's going to profit. Acha, was this based on any data point that in next 3 days the war is going to finish? This was an assumption. This was whatever his thought process, whatever. Can I say he gambled on the situation? Yes. And if he wins, I knew that. That is what will happen. And unfortunately, if the things start going from bad to worse, what is he going to say? Tell me. If things go from bad to worse, who can tell me what is he going to conclude? Stock market is a gamble. You have stayed in the market for some time, but newbie will conclude immediately that stock market is a gamble. And now you are understanding from whom are we learning from such people who had gambled, who lost the money, and now are concluding yes, stock market is a gamble. Correct? But now you can tell me that if we take a separate session in our class, maybe not tomorrow will also be too early, maybe next Saturday, when we take this session, and if I tell you examples of such external factors, if I give you data points on last X number of wars, this had happened, and based on that analysis, let us say I give you examples of 20 wars which happened after World War II, and in those 20 wars, this was the market scenario, this was the outcome, and based on history, if you take a position, based on that analysis of past 20 wars, if you take a buy or sell decision, will that be a gamble? Will that be an analysis? Yes. Are you getting the difference? Yes. So quickly tell me, final thought process. Stock market is a gamble, yes or no? No. External factors, do they impact the market? Yes, absolutely yes. We'll talk about a lot of external factors, something like elections. Elections can also impact the market. COVID, absolutely, that also impacted the market. Budget will also impact the market. Correct? Many factors are going to impact the market. Correct? So are external factors going to impact the market, yes or no? Yes. How many of you, so we'll move on to the third point, right? Okay. How many of you feel that this stock market is only for those who are from a commerce background? No, man, she's confident. Only nonsense people say that stuff. Stock market, absolutely it's not necessary that only and only those people who are from finance background, who are from commerce background, will be able to learn about it. But 10 years ago, what used to happen? 10 years ago, so when I started learning about stock market, was there YouTube? No. We barely had mobile phones, and the internet was also so expensive, so googling out on internet or the mobile phone is like next to impossible. So what was the only source of knowledge? Maybe books or seniors. Correct? Newspapers. I was in college. Who reads newspaper? So library में जाना भी बड़ी बात होती है, right? So books or maybe seniors. And seniors again, if that person is a wrong person who has half knowledge, you know what my understanding is going to be. Correct? So initial days it was really difficult for those who were from non-finance background, those who were from non-commerce background, for them to enter the market. There was an entry barrier, to be honest. But nowadays is knowledge available in abundance? Absolutely yes. So I always say this. There are two things about knowledge. One is the capacity to learn, ability to learn. So one more, and willingness to learn. Correct, no? Do you all have the capacity to learn? Yes. Ability to learn. Those who are in the classroom, do you have the willingness to learn? Yes. So if that willingness last word is ticked off, I think that is it. Whether you're from commerce background, whether you're from a non-commerce background, absolutely makes no difference. Correct? So moving to our question, is it necessary that you must be from a finance background? Does it mean that finance people don't know anything and they can't? Okay, so it is basically for finance as well as non-finance background people. Both. There was this very nice advertisement which I'll say after maybe 3 or 4 more points. Okay. So any other thing you believe, you have that doubt in your mind about stock market? That, finance, non-finance, agreed. But anything else you believe that, especially students, they ask me, we just started our first job, and our salary is 25,000 rupees, or maybe 20,000 rupees. How much will we earn? How much will we save? And from that, how much will we invest? Is it necessary that we can invest in stock market only and only if we have lakhs and lakhs of rupees? How many of you feel that we can invest even with small amounts of money? Okay. Still, few hands are up in there, few hands are still confused, or maybe they don't want to raise their hands. Okay. Right. Acha, you have a question? क्या बात है? Very nice, very nice. Good. So he's saying now from the last match I got it. Till now I was thinking that you are in your own world. Last match. But great. So it's not necessary that you have to have large sums of money to invest in stock market. Can you start with as low as 500 rupees? Yes, 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees. That is absolutely possible. See, in the beginning we are just discussing without any data point. Okay. When I start my presentation, then we'll vouch it with all the data points. Correct. So what about the amount? Can we invest with even small amount of money? Is it possible? Yes or no? Absolutely yes. Correct. Any other question? Any other base level question if you have in your mind? No. Any gender bias in stock market? What are you saying? No gender bias in stock market? Seriously? This is that brat in the classroom. Nah. Acha. Really no gender bias in the stock market? No? You know my channel statistics? How many male viewers and how many female viewers? 70-30. Okay? 60-40. 80-20. Almost there. It's almost 77% to 23% last year. This year we have at least come down to 73% to 27%. Again I'm asking the question. Gender bias in stock market? Yes. Yes. That is the reality. We can always say men, women, equality. Ma'am, you yourself are teaching. Agreed, we'll talk about that. What is my question understand? What is the ground reality right now? Absolutely. Answerable? Okay. So now we're talking about point where is there any gender bias? So that we said whenever it comes to investing males, females, for males, like you said, many times it happens that they're not answerable to anyone. Correct, no? Whereas if the lady is one who is earning by herself, assume the girl has let's say 40,000, 50,000 as a salary, and she invests on her own, still maybe she can invest with full confidence. But tell me honestly, okay? Ekdam honestly. She's a housewife. Okay? She gets 10,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees from her husband, and husband says this is the money from which you have to take care of all the household expenses. She starts watching my lectures, gets inspired, and says that I now even does some analysis, does something known as fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and she enters the market. And is it necessary that her first trade has to be profitable? No. And she loses money. Do you think she's going to be answerable? Yes, you have said it right now. She's going to be answerable. Will she ever think of entering into the stock market again? Right? See the gender bias in our class also right now. It's surely not 50-50. This entire side only 2 girls. That side at least we have roughly 50-50. So a very honest request from my side is that at home, whenever you're watching any video of mine, a YouTube video, or maybe you're reading anything, maybe reading a newspaper, please encourage women in your family, girls in your family, that you also try. Maybe she might not get it at the very first go. I just asked all the male viewers of mine, do you have trades in, do you have profits in each and every trade? No. Similarly, she also will not have profit in each and every trade. That's fine. Allocate a small sum maybe. Allocate 2,000 every month, 3,000 every month. Let her try. Correct? So, unfortunate ground reality. Is there a gender bias? Yes. Correct? Now we are coming to that point. Absolutely we are coming to that point. Now that is a bias which is present very much in the society right now. Does it mean that stock market doesn't allow women to enter? That's not the scenario. But is it necessary that someone has to encourage her to invest? That is necessary. Boys generally have more inclination automatically. Once they start getting money, they start getting a feeling that let me try investing here, let me try investing there. But girls are not that much confident maybe because of the answerable thing. Correct? So when it comes to, like I said, is stock market stopping you based on your gender? No, not at all. Are there women who have successfully made their career in finance? 100% yes. One is in front of you. Okay. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? Hashtag हवा लगा एक म्हणतात नवीन शिकले तुम्ही काहीतरी. आत्ताच्याच व्हिडिओमध्ये वापरलं तुम्ही. Anyways, I forgot that word. For shining there is new word. All the Gen Z word. Flex, you said it. But there was a slight improvisation for that. Subtle flex. Subtle flex. Thoda sa. Subtle flex. Okay. Right. And there can be many more names as well, right? So those who have come here, I hope you have that absolute clarity that stock market is not stopping anyone, but the society is somewhere being biased. So it is everyone's responsibility to encourage women to also enter into this space. Have you heard about families where the lady has a demat account but operated by? Everyone knows this. Correct, na? So again, society bias. Ask her to take a trade, ask her to learn, analyze, and take a trade. Even if it is loss, it's okay. She'll learn. No problem. Okay? So gender bias, I hope this point is clear. Stock market is not stopping. It is we who are maybe not encouraging. Right? Base points are clear? Yes? One final question before we move on to our presentation. If you want to make money in stock market, everyone wants to make money in stock market, that is the reason why you are here, right? What do you feel, how much returns can stock market give? Annually, I should get this much. Every year, I should at least, come on, I'm investing in stock market. I need at least this much percentage returns. Any figure in your mind? Any rough figure?
2669.
18%, 20%, 20%. Anyone else? Stock market. It depends, is a political answer. I'm asking about expectations. 14%. Okay. That is what market has maybe given in the past. I'm asking about your expectations. 25 दिन में same old point that I was telling you. We know theory. We know market has given only this much returns in the past. But remember that day when you took your very first trade. What was your expectation? This is going to make me rich.
3760.
Correct? And every single second, even if you're working, you're taking the first trade, you'll be like, every single second, you're 10%, 10 rupees profit. Very good. That is what happens. So, knowing theory and implementing theory is a big difference. Correct? So, even if we know that market has given X returns in the last 10 years, setting our expectations right is very crucial. The moment you feel that, actually, what is the market is giving, I want to become rich, I want to have purchase in my but you are going to take wrong trades. You want to invest your money in the wrong way. Okay? So, expectations from the market. Can anyone give me a benchmark rather than a percentage? Don't tell me 10%, 12%, 18%. Any benchmark that you would want to set as compared to this, I want X returns or whatever. Any benchmark you want to compare stock market returns with him? Simple point is saying, I want returns which beat inflation and I want returns which are better than bank FD. Bank FD, correct? So is that something? Better returns than the index. Nifty index. No, why? Because you are again comparing stock market with stock market. Avoid for the time, पूरा आगे का सोचोगे, रुको. Better returns than mutual funds. He's saying, I want to do the analysis. I want to have sleepless nights. And still if I'm getting less than mutual fund returns, then why I have that headache? At least let the mutual fund manager have that headache. Makes sense. Okay. Better than that, then say 24%. So you're saying if you're giving a personal loan to someone, बड़े लोग बड़ी बातें. I couldn't have even imagined me giving a personal. Okay. Now do you understand that in a class, in this classroom, we have people with different expectations. Everyone is unique. Everyone's expectations are different, and that is the reason why everyone's thought process while entering the market is different, and that is why this market is unique, right? If I were to ask you what if you were to invest in FD, then what are your expectations? Everyone would have given the same number. But the moment I'm talking about stock market, your expectations are changing from person to person. Is investing in FD bad? Yes or no? No. Investing in FD is also not bad. So we are also going to talk about some personal finance points while we learn about stock market, okay? But I hope we will talk about that point maybe second half or maybe tomorrow about how or why FD investments must be a part of your portfolio. Come what may. I talk so much about stock market. Do you think I'll have FDs in my portfolio? Absolutely yes. I'll be mad if I don't have FDs in my portfolio. Okay, why? What is the reason? What is the logic? We'll talk about that later. Okay, so expectations from the market, is it different for different people? Yes. But what can be a very basic thumb rule? Tell me. Absolute base thumb rule. Higher than inflation. See, can I say generally FDs will be higher than inflation? Generally. See, over a period of time, so if this is the inflation line, somewhere around plus minus a little bit here and there, it might happen. But if over a long term, ideally FD will get at least closer to inflation, can I say? Might not beat every single time, but closer to inflation, yes. So can I say, in the current scenario where we are in right now, FD is giving how much percent roughly? 6% roughly, correct? Is that a bare minimum expectation from stock market? Bare minimum. I should have more than that. At least maybe because I'm risking out my money also, no? If I invest in FD, is my capital safe? Is my money invested safe? Yes. What about stock market? Can it go down? Yes. So for expectations from stock market, you can have a minimum and average. Is what I always believe. Minimum this much I want, and on an average if I get this amazing. So what can be the minimum percentage if you can tell me all? Ekdam bare minimum. Can I say somewhere if FD is giving me 6%, at least a plus 2 on that? Somewhere minimum 8%. If I'm not getting even 8% return, forget it. Why are you taking a risk? Instead of that, put the money in FD. Finish. Correct? Everyone agrees? But if you ask, or if you think from this perspective, okay, agreed. Some part I'll park in FD, some I want to have in a little bit risky assets, high risk, high return. So, okay, we are not going into multiple investment options now, then it will be bond, gold, real estate. We'll talk about that when we move away from this slide, okay? So if I'm talking about average, I should at least aim for returns which are higher than mutual funds at least. Simple logic. If someone else is managing my money and if that person is able to generate 10 to 12%, at least that much I should get. Average returns. What do I mean by average returns? Every single year. Will I be able to beat that number? Every single year. I might not be able to beat that number. But over a period of 5 years, should I be beating that number? Yes. So what could be the average expectation that you can set from the market? Mutual fund generally, on an average, at least 12 to 14%. Correct, na? So forget about beating that, at least that much as a beginner. Correct? So somewhere between 12 to 14%. Yes. Have we set our expectations right on day one of our lecture? And those who have an expectation of 40%, 50%, are they going to make that much percentage of losses? Possibility is higher. Okay, so whenever I'm teaching you about stock market, either on YouTube or in a classroom, don't ever feel that I want to give some tips, I want to give some names of any stocks which will make you rich overnight. Will never happen. these are the expectations. Keep these numbers in your mind, and based on that, start investing in stock market. Is this fair enough? Shall we move on to our yes, please? Hmm? Hmm? Correct. Correct. Agreed. But if you're talking about a retirement fund, no. Constant source of income for that. Huh. I got your point. I got your point. Okay. So if you are looking at stock market from a monthly source of income, I'm not the right person to teach that. Why I'll tell you. Why I'll tell you. Monthly source of income from stock market you'll be getting if you are in front of the screens from 9:15 to 3:30. Or you might not be in front of the screen. You have someone to help who is looking at the screen from 9:15 to 3:30 and is immediately telling you, oh, this is happening in the market, take a position, exit that position. Are you of that sort right now? Anyone who can be dedicatedly sitting in front of the screen 9:15 to 3:30? One person. So exactly. And this is where the confusion starts. You are not giving 9:15 to 3:30 time, but you want a monthly income. Two contradicting things, right? So if you are in this category that right now I can't give 6 hours for the stock market trading, but my primary source of income is what? My salary, let us say. What I do, I invest every month 2,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, whatever, as per your own comfort. Can you tell me after a period of 10 years, you'll surely be sitting on good, decent enough profits? Everyone agrees? So that's what I'm telling you. If you're asking me about how to generate monthly assured income, I don't know. Okay? But if you ask me how to ensure that after 10 years, I'll have decent enough profit, that's what we're here for. Simple enough. Otherwise, sit in front of the screen, or you have to have someone in your team who's doing that for you. Simple. Okay? It could be from futures and options as well, but we are in basics of stock market right now. I can't talk about futures and options. You have another case, please. Absolutely. Can that be kind of an assured stream of income that you can get? Dividends. Are you getting me? Yes. For those who don't know what is dividend, we are also going to quickly discuss that in the coming lecture. So dividend is something which you can surely get as an assured return. But while I'm saying that word assured, I'm again having a slight guilt in my mind because technically speaking, it's not an assured return. Okay? Because is it mandatory for every company to declare dividends? I can say that this company in the past has given on an average this much dividend, so I can expect. Yes, I can expect. Agree. Okay? But then the expectations are dividend itna nahi aayega. Correct. Absolutely. Not we are saying average. I've never written maximum. Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. People have daydreams that, as I mentioned, today I'm going to take a position and tomorrow it is going to turn profitable and hugely profitable. So keep your expectations. See, I'll tell you one simple thing, which is not a stock market example. Whenever you're going to go for a movie and you keep minimum expectation, this hero and this heroine, थोड़ा boring ही होने वाला है. Okay, बस देखना है types. And as a surprise, it turns out to be a good movie. Are you really happy? Oh wow, it was good. Okay, but if you have super high expectations and it doesn't go close to that, are you really disappointed? Correct? Same logic. Keep your expectations low. See, again, is this really low? This is not really low. Still, you are getting better than FD. Still, we are trying to complete mutual funds as a beginner. Okay, even advanced people also, 15% to 20% is mind blowing. Those who say that, hey, we generate on an average 50%, 60% returns. Who is that person? Liar. Okay, I don't know any person on earth who has generated every single year 50% returns, 60% returns. Okay? Could it happen over a period of time? Some year minus 20%, some year plus 80%, again some year minus 5%. On an average, could it go beyond 20 also? Yes. Simple. No. They want to create an impression that they're very busy. कोई भी आएगा बीच में तो there'll be some amazing trade setups that you can see. Like my setup is also single screen, but otherwise you have 2 screen setup, 3 screen setup. On the internet you can see images with 9 screen setups. Okay, so for that there is something known as technical analysis. Okay, and in technical analysis there'll be certain buy or sell signals which can be triggered. So you have certain rules. Yes, absolutely. So those who are having something, a very fancy setup, something like 6 screens, 9 screens, 100% they're not investors. They are traders. Are they wrong? Are they bad guys? Are they nonsense people? No, it's their style. They can afford sitting in front of the screen 9:15 to 3:30, but they have to ensure that they're making that much money that will be more than a job plus a side income. Very important point. Because there are many youngsters who ask me, can I take stock market as full-time profession? Just graduated from college and they want to do full-time trading. Okay, again, please be sure that if you were doing a job, how much you would have earned, plus how much side income you would have earned. That much should be your minimum target. If your answer is yes, then only try that out. Otherwise, don't. Okay, so that is 9:15 to 3:30. We are not here for technical analysis, but one day if you want last lecture again, once we are done with our basics, we can surely talk about some basics of technical analysis also. You'll say everything she's saying afterwards, then we're in the first lecture right now. No? Okay. Any other doubt? No? Cool. So let's open our books.